Now we'd like to offer the microphone to anyone who might be interested in sharing any stories or Michael jokes or escapades of his life. And we'd like to ask that if you'd care to speak, if you could perhaps keep your comments to just a few minutes so there's enough opportunity for everyone to talk who'd like to.
I'm Charlie, and a friend of Michael's, and I wrote out a few things this afternoon. Michael used to leave messages for me when I was out. Is your father there? No, he's not back yet. Did you tell him Jeffrey Dahmer called? Jeffrey Dahmer? Yeah, okay. The artist Joseph Beuys' most famous remark is, every human being is an artist. I don't know if Michael got that idea from Joseph Beuys, but he certainly lived it in everything he did. For him, all the little productions of popular culture were art, no matter how paltry and sleazy they looked. And he saw the job of the artist as contributing to that cultural output. Art is something anyone can do. It doesn't take skill in drawing or aesthetic abilities. At most, it takes a childlike exuberance and an ability to see ordinary things in new ways. This October, he was talking constantly about a new series of paintings he was working on, a series he called, surely a Taberski theme if there ever was one, incest. These were to be crudely drawn and garishly painted pictures of family scenes, each with some sexual point. One was to be a painting of a young woman in bed being ravished by a giant, scaly, bright-colored fish. The title of the painting was, My Sister Likes Fish. Art, as Michael saw it, is everywhere. It springs unexpectedly from all areas of our lives, and the artist does little more than capture what's already there and feed it back into the world. Every human being is an artist. We were at a one-day retreat at a farm in Underhill, sitting out on the lawn under a warm sun, listening to some intense fellow talking about his struggle to overcome his disabilities and achieve something for his life. It was a time for quiet meditation on the mystery of life and its boundless possibilities. After a while, Michael leaned over to me, his face beaming, and said, Charlie, can I put my head in your lap? I thought Michael was brilliant. He could come up with the maddest ideas, and all of them were just right. No matter how I twisted my brain, I could never come up with anything as good. But at times he could seem sort of out of it. When he took my course on postmodern theory, he was fascinated by the idea of decentering the subject, the attempt to understand art without relying on the idea of a creative genius. But he was never able to remember exactly what decentering the subject meant. And he kept calling me at home to ask me to explain it to him again and again. I was talking to Linda Shatner, he'd say, and I was trying to explain decentering the subject to her, but I couldn't remember how it goes. Could you tell me again? Finally, I told him that I just did not have the time to keep repeating the same thing over and over again. A couple of days later, I got this message on my machine. Hello, Charlie. I've got $1 here. You want $1? I'll give you $1. All you have to do is explain the thing about the subject one more time. I'll give you $1. You want $1, Charlie? I've got $1. In the end, I wrote it out and gave him a copy to keep in his wallet. A week before his body was discovered, we had a long, surprisingly somber conversation that went on late into the night. Michael had had a bad day and he was trying to get on an even keel. In the course of our conversation, he asked me what I wanted to have done with my body when I died. I said I wanted it to be cremated, and he said that that's what he wanted too. We talked about what we wanted done with the ashes afterward. I said I wasn't sure. We thought of a couple of girlfriends from the distant past we might bequeath our ashes to, but we were not too sure how that would go over. Michael worked out the scenario. The undertaker's limousine pulls up to the house in Poughkeepsie or wherever, and a man in a dark suit carries the silver urn to the door. Mr. Taberski's last request was that his ashes be spread over your front lawn. Michael talked a lot that night about his parents. He'd had a difficult childhood, and those who knew him well knew that he had troubled feelings about his parents. But that night he talked about the deep feelings of gratitude he felt toward both his parents. His father's success in business had made it possible for him to live a pretty comfortable life, he said. He'd had his mother to thank for his sense of humor. In the end, it's at least 50-50, he told me. The bad is outweighed by the good. When I look back, I feel thankful to them for making me the person I am. I know this is just an illusion of hindsight, but thinking about it now, I can't help but think he was summing up his life as we talked that night, that he was coming to terms with his past, putting things in order, trying to get an overview of it all. Is it possible we have a premonition of when our end is coming? Could it be that each life wraps itself up in its own way, that it tries to sum itself up like a story that's winding down toward the end? Could it be that a life reaches a point where it's complete, like a pot thrown on a potter's wheel, that no matter how it looks, it's best not to monkey with it anymore? I don't know what to say about all this, but I must say that if Michael's life was supposed to be a completed work of art thrown by some great potter in the sky, it looked to me like it had a long way to go before it was finished. He did a lot in his short time on Earth, but I can't help feeling he had a lot more to do.
Hi, my name is Michael Evans. I've know Michael for quite a while. And I'm going to miss something, which is having talks with Michael, which I enjoyed a lot. The thing that kept happening is people kept